I'll give it to you, Eagles. You didn't take the bait on Byron Jones, and I'm glad. And we talk about this all the time. The Eagles' defensive line is the bread and butter of that defense, and that's why they went out and signed Javon Hargrave. What a move by Al Roseman! Whoa! Everybody doing? King Dingbat here. So the Eagles finally make a move. They make a big move, man. This is a sneaky good move for the Eagles. First off, they didn't take the bait of Byron Jones. They stayed the hell away. Thank goodness. And they turn around, double moonwalk the situation's ass, and they come up with a really good football player. Now, I say all the time, the Eagles' defense, it is predicated on that defensive line. That defensive line is basically how your defense is going to go. If your defensive line is not getting pressure, if it's not stopping the run, you're going to have problems. And the Eagles, they've had problems in recent years, let's face it. So what they did, and I love this move. I love it. Okay? They go out and they sign former Pittsburgh Steeler nose tackle Javon Hargrave, okay? Now, in Pittsburgh, he plays nose tackle. He's in a 3-4 scheme. He's going to come over and play a 4-3 scheme with the Eagles. He's going to line up right next to Fletcher Cox. You are going to have two dominant guys in the middle of that defensive line. People ain't gonna run on you. This dude's big, 6'2", 302 pounds. He can stop the run. He can pass rush. The guy is a good player. And now you have him and Fletcher Cox. That is going to be very hard to deal with if you're an interior offensive lineman. This is a great move. It's a great move. He signed a 3-year, $39 million, I believe $26 million guaranteed. What I want to see now is what they're going to do with Malik Jackson. Are they going to be able to keep him? Because they're paying him decent money too. They're spending a lot of money on that defensive line, on that defensive tackle position itself. Fletcher Cox is like $20 million or more. Then now you have this kid. Then you have Malik Jackson, right? So it's very interesting. They brought Hassan Ridgeway back, but the Eagles, in terms of money, I'm curious to see 2-3 years how it's going to work at the defensive tackle position. But in terms of next year, in terms of play, what you have at that defensive line position should make everybody better, should make that whole line better. So I think this is a sneaky good move. I mean, they could have gone out, got another defensive end, Yannick Ngakoue or Clowney, who are both searching for about $21 million per year. You would have had to trade for Yannick. Instead, you really get that defensive line, that interior line better, which should help make the outside defensive ends better. And you get that push up the middle, you're going to be nasty. I love this move. This is the kind of crap I'm talking about, man. This is the kind of crap I want. Defensive players that are young, that are still ascending players. Get those guys. And that's what they did. The kid just turned 27 in February. I love it. I love this move. This move pumped me up because I gotta be honest. I was getting frustrated, right? And my frustration started today with the whole DeAndre Hopkins trade. When the Eagles didn't even have any knowledge or even go after the guy, and it was just this trade out of left field where we heard rumors earlier in the morning, the night before, that the Texans are looking to move DeAndre Hopkins, and then to go to the Arizona Cardinals for so cheap. It was like, Howie, where are you? Didn't you call? I mean, this team needs a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver bad. And I am still a little frustrated about not getting DeAndre Hopkins because I consider him a top 3 wide receiver in the league who's 27. But it is what it is. This move makes me feel a little bit better, I got to tell you, because this is one of those moves that is not going to be, flashy. People aren't going to talk a lot about it. But it's a huge move for what the Eagles do on the defensive side of the ball. I love this kid. I like this kid while he was with Pittsburgh. And he's going to make a big impact on the Eagles, especially, I think, in that run game. But he also can get pressure up the middle. So I think it's going to be very hard to contain him and Fletcher Cox. And then, however, the Eagles use their rotation. This is a good move. I like this one. I like this move. Now, what are the Eagles going to do next? That's the question, right? Byron Jones goes to Miami for a ridiculous, enormous amount of money. I would never have paid him that much money. The thing that bothered me about the Byron Jones thing was that we heard all day, Byron Jones is going to end up with the Raiders or the Eagles. It's down to those two teams. And then, oh, Miami gets him. What? Well, it wasn't ever the Eagles. It was always Miami and the Raiders. They were the two teams that were battling, okay? And my feeling at the time when he first signed was, well, damn, if he's the guy that you wanted, you just let Miami beat you. And that's what bothers me, is I don't like getting outbid. I don't like, getting outbid. But for that price, I would have walked away. I would have walked away at $15 million. As soon as Byron Jones said, I want $15 million, I said, I'm the hell out of here. That's what I would have said. But the Eagles did the right thing. And this move confirms it to me. I love this move. I love it because I'm all about building up that defensive line because I understand that's how the Eagles play defense. It's about the defensive line. So I really like that move. They still need two corners. I think I would try to get Darius Slay at this point because James Bradbury, he is the guy at corner that I would have liked to sign. Okay, I like him better than Byron Jones. He goes to the Giants. Good move by the Giants. And, I think at this point, if I'm the Eagles and I can trade a third for Darius Slay, a fourth, I would. Although, if you listen to the Eagles and if you listen to Howie Roseman and if you listen to what they say, they want to get younger, they want to get faster, and if that's the case, then they may not go after Darius Slay. They may not go after a Desmond Trufant. They may not go after those guys who are 29, 30 years old. And if this first signing is any indication of the age range that they're looking, they're definitely looking to get younger. But I love this move. I do. There's also this whole Stephon Diggs thing, right? Stephon Diggs really cryptic tweets today about, he's looking forward to change. And then somebody said, well, you always say that when you're just trying to stir stuff up. And he's like, nah, not this time, man. So we got to keep an eye on him. I said before, I would love to get Stephon Diggs. I don't know what the Eagles' plan is. But, here's the thing. First big move that they do in free agency, this is a sneaky good move. This, in my opinion, besides the DeAndre Hopkins trade, this is my favorite move out of every team so far in free agency. I like it that much because it's a sneaky pick. They paid the guy a good amount of money, but it's for 3 years, 27 years old, and it's going to be interesting to see in the future if they're going to keep paying that one position a lot of money. Will they try to move Malik Jackson now? I don't even know what his salary is or what it would be to cut, but I love this move by the Eagles. Very, very good move, and I look forward to seeing what they're going to do in the future. Now, I should be streaming at some point tomorrow during the free agent frenzy and all those kind of things, so look for me then, and hopefully there'll be some more moves coming. If the Eagles make a move tonight, I'll be back. But so far, A+ on this move. It took the Eagles a while. I was a little nervous about the inactivity, but they come back with a very strong move. And the only thing I can complain about, to be honest with you, is I would have liked to see DeAndre Hopkins land here. If they could have gotten Hargrave and then also on offense had traded for DeAndre Hopkins, it would have been an unbelievable start to free agency. But hey, this move here, it tells me the Eagles are focusing on defense, and they know their bread and butter is that defensive line. So I love this move. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.